The next recipient of the Maria Haley Lifetime Leadership Award is a native of Lepanto, Arkansas, and a graduate of Arkansas State University in Jonesboro. He began his professional career in Washington, D.C., working in the United States Senate from 1991 to 1993, and in the mid-90s moved to Little Rock and began a career in economic development. First at AEDCE, where he worked alongside the likes of Brad Lacey and Russell Harris, which begs the question how anything in the world got done with those guys outside of the pranks that they played on each other, the pranks that they played on Denise Hanna, and just about anybody else they encountered. In 1998, he accepted a position at the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, where he served as Manager of Economic Development from 1998 to 2014. And in this role, he worked on successful economic development projects with companies such as Lockheed Martin in Camden, Pico Foods in Pocahontas, Envirotech Chemicals in Helena, Treated Materials in Rising, and many others. He was awarded the SEDC Chairman's Award in 2007 and was one of 4 economic development professionals to be awarded an honorary life membership by SEDC in 2017. He was named the Arkansas Tourism Person of the Year in 2014 for his work on the Johnny Cash Boyhood Home project in AEDCE, which has drawn tens of thousands of visitors from all 50 states and over 50 countries to rural northeast Arkansas since its completion in 2014. In that same year, he was named Vice President of Government Affairs at the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas, lobbying and leading grassroots advocacy efforts in the Arkansas General Assembly and in U.S. Congress. In this position, he led the efforts of the co-ops to have the right to serve broadband to the most rural parts of our state. This role also consisted of the supervision of the co-op's Community and Economic Development Department, which included supervising J.D. Lowry, which sounds to me like the tallest task and greatest accomplishment on this list. His community engagement was exemplified through his service on various boards, such as the Arkansas Economic Developers, this organization, SEDC, Arkansas Independent Colleges and Universities, Arkansas State University Chancellor's Cabinet, the Red Wolves Foundation, and the Arkansas Waterways Association. And on a personal note, I consider myself extremely, extremely lucky. Growing up, I have memories of him changing from a dress shirt to a coaching shirt, rushing down here to junior deputy to coach our baseball team. And sometimes when prospects come to town, they'll ask, you'll be in the car, have a lot of drive time, a lot of windshield time, and they'll say, hey, economic development is an interesting field. Did you go to college knowing that you were going to get into economic development? Sometimes I'll laugh and I'll think to myself about the relationship I have with my dad, and I'll look at him and tell him, I didn't go to college knowing I was going to get into economic development. I went to kindergarten knowing I was going to get into economic development. But the reality is this, contrary to popular belief and contrary to anything Bentley's story says about dinner time conversations at the Thomas household, we didn't sit around the table talking about RFIs or KV lines. And to be completely honest, for the majority of my life, I had no idea what my dad did. All I knew is that I wanted to be just like him. And more than all these professional accomplishments, I can attest that he was the best dad a son could have asked for, a good man. He never missed a ball game, always picked up the phone when I called, and showed up in my life and in the lives of many of you. So after 25 outstanding years in economic development, it's an absolute pleasure to present the 2022 Maria Haley Lifetime Leadership Award to my dad, Kirkley Thomas.
I guess if economic development had NIL deals, that's my own personal NIL. Thank you. It's a tremendous honor. I knew Maria Haley, so I worked with her. So to receive this award that bears her name is a really special honor. And also, even more, to receive it with the likes of Brian and Cliff and the governor is even extra special. I don't feel like I'm worthy. Brian, my goodness, there's nobody better at putting together complex financial packages to make projects work than Brian, but more importantly, making guys like me understand it. We can halfway understand it. So, Brian, thank you. You've helped so many in this room. Cliff is a great friend and mentor to me over the years. I used to cherish our conversations, Cliff, and we'd talk on the phone. And we'd talk about economic development, but also about Northeast Arkansas history, and that's where we're both from. I really appreciate your friendship. Governor Hutchinson, who you heard in his remarks earlier, he's been focused on economic development since day one. I know when he was inaugurated in January of 2015, that day he was on the phone with company CEOs, and you can see it's continued until today. So he hasn't wavered from that laser-like focus, working with Mike and Clint and Bentley, like he said. So extra special to receive this with you guys. And I guess the icing on the cake is to have Jack present it to me. Very special, a memory I'll cherish forever. I real quickly just want to thank a couple of people. I look around, gosh, there's probably 100 people that have been friends and mentored me through the years. Too many, I can't name them all. But I do want to specifically mention the guy that hired me into this business, Dale Boyette. Dale didn't know me from Adam. I called him up one day and told him I wanted to work at AEDCE, and he took a chance on me, and I appreciate that. My time at AEDCE, although brief, was probably the most fun time I've ever had in my career. I worked on a team with Brad Lacey, Russell Harris, Stacy McClellan, Victor Turner. Loved going to work every day. It was a blast. So cherish that time. And then I also want to thank the late Ernie Fawcett, who hired me at the electric cooperatives. Again, took a chance on me, and I had a great career there. But again, this is a great honor. I want to thank all of you for what you do. Economic development professionals, chamber executives, you're really on the front lines of selling this state, because really it comes down to the local level if it's really going to happen and really close the deal, and I appreciate what you do. Again, this is a great honor. Thank you, and God bless you.